Le chef d'état-major des armées,
The Chief of Staff of the French Armed Forces addressed France's mayors. On behalf of La France Insoumise, I must firmly disagree with both the content and the spirit of his remarks. This is not a polemic, it is a reminder of democratic order. In the Republic, the military, like all comparable authorities, is strictly subordinate to political power, which commands it in the service of the nation. In a democracy, only Parliament and the President, not the Chief of Staff, have the authority to designate an enemy or call the country to arms. On such matters, more than any other, everyone must remain within their proper role. We do not want war. Nothing makes it inevitable today. If war were ever to occur, it would be because those empowered to decide had chosen it, or because diplomacy had failed. And at this moment, no one can declare such a failure except the authorities responsible. General Mandon's speech relied on excessively alarmist assessments and forecasts, none of which have been validated by the competent political authorities. He claims the country must be ready in 3 or 4 years. This is incorrect. France is already prepared. Its deterrent force is operational, and no potential aggressor should doubt it. The general alludes to possible enemies. This too is a mistake. Identifying adversaries is the responsibility of political leaders, the parliament and the head of state, because doing so is itself an act of political engagement. Such usurpation of authority is unacceptable. By publicly outlining hypothetical war scenarios through an outdated, nuclear-era lens, the general oversteps his role. Military leaders advise civilian authorities. That is normal. They do not set national defense policy, nor do they instruct local elected officials. The duty of reserve applies to all military personnel precisely so they can maintain the trust of the entire nation. Public statements that commit France to an imagined conflict have no place. La France Insoumise calls on the President of the Republic, the sole Commander-in-Chief, to call General Mandon to order. We urge the President to reaffirm that France's strategic choices fall under political debate and civilian authority, under parliamentary oversight. And we ask him to remind the country that France does not seek war.
25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.